In the cold embrace of a Roman winter, amidst the vast echoing chambers of imperial power, a man sits hunched over a parchment. He is Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, master of the known world, yet his gaze is fixed not on maps of empire or decrees of state, but inward into the tumultuous landscape of his own soul. The candlelight flickers, casting long shadows that dance like spectres of the plagues, wars, and betrayals that consumed his reign. This is not the voice of a conqueror boasting of victories, but the quiet, profound introspection of a philosopher king, grappling with the raw, relentless friction of existence. His journal, what we now call Meditations, was never meant for publication. It was a sanctuary, a battleground, where a solitary mind forged resilience against the crushing weight of the world. Imagine the immensity of the burden. Marcus Aurelius inherited an empire perpetually on the brink, beset by Germanic tribes, Parthian wars, and the devastating Antonine plague, yet his most profound battles were fought not on the frontiers, but within the confines of his own mind. He was a man of peace forced into endless war, a philosopher compelled to wield absolute power. His meditations are not a guide to governance, but a private dialogue, an ongoing attempt to anchor his spirit amidst the storms. He wrote these thoughts as a form of spiritual exercise, a daily reminder to himself to maintain virtue, reason, and an unshakable inner calm, even as the world around him descended into chaos. The pages bear witness to a constant struggle, a relentless striving for wisdom in the face of unimaginable pressure. At the heart of Stoic resilience lies the radical insight attributed to Epictetus, the former slave who profoundly influenced Marcus. It is not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. Marcus wrestled with this truth daily. The plague was a fact. His fear or despair about it was a choice. The treachery of a trusted general, the death of a beloved child, these were externals beyond his control. What remained within his power was his perception, his interpretation, his inner response. This inner citadel is a psychological fortress, built by disciplined thought, where one can retreat from the slings and arrows of fortune. It is a space where freedom is absolute, a freedom from external compulsion, where one determines their own response, regardless of circumstance. To master perception is to gain an almost invincible advantage against adversity. Marcus Aurelius lived under the constant shadow of death, losing multiple children and facing his own mortality and that of his subjects to the ravages of disease and war. This stark reality was not a source of despair, but a profound impetus for living well. He understood with chilling clarity the impermanence of all things, empires, people, even memories. This awareness, far from being morbid, provided a sharp focus to live virtuously in the present, for the past is gone and the future uncertain. He saw the continuous flow of existence, where every atom and every soul returns to the universal substance. To cling to anything or anyone as permanent was a delusion. Resilience, then, was not merely enduring loss, but understanding it as an intrinsic part of the cosmic design, a perpetual cycle of generation and decay. The Stoics called it Amor Fati, the love of fate. For Marcus, this wasn't passive resignation, but an active, almost joyful acceptance of whatever comes. To resist what is to resist the very fabric of the cosmos, to fight against the rational order, the logos that governs all things. If a situation arises, and it is beyond our control, then it is by definition meant to be. Our task is to find our place within it, to act with virtue, and to extract whatever good or lesson we can. A broken pot, a failed harvest, a political betrayal, These are not misfortunes in themselves, but simply events to which we must adapt. This profound acceptance disarms adversity of its power, transforming potential suffering into an opportunity for growth and for demonstrating one's character. Despite his imperial isolation, Marcus Aurelius was deeply committed to his duty to humanity. He viewed all rational beings as citizens of a single cosmic city, bound by a universal reason. His personal struggles, therefore, were never solely for himself, but also for the collective good. To suffer nobly, to act justly, to maintain integrity amidst chaos, these were not merely personal virtues, but contributions to the harmony of the universe. This perspective broadened his resilience beyond individual fortitude. It became an act of service. When confronted with personal sorrow or public catastrophe, he sought not only his own peace but also to act in a way that benefited the larger whole, understanding that his own well-being was inextricably linked to the well-being of all. Seneca, another towering figure of Stoicism, championed a practice called Premeditatio Malorum, the premeditation of evils. This was not dwelling on negativity, but a deliberate exercise in confronting potential adversities in advance. By mentally rehearsing worst-case scenarios, poverty, pain, loss, death, the Stoics sought to strip these fears of their psychological power. Marcus, too, engaged in this. By imagining the very things he feared most, he prepared his mind and hardened his resolve. When calamity inevitably struck, it would find him ready, not caught off guard. This practice transforms fear from a paralyzing force into a tool for preparation, ensuring that one's resilience is not a reaction, but a cultivated state of readiness. A common misconception of Stoicism is that it preaches apathy, a cold indifference to the world. But for Marcus, indifference to externals meant something far more nuanced. It was a freedom from attachment to things outside of one's control: wealth, reputation, health, even life itself. This detachment allowed him to engage fully with the world and his duties without his inner peace being hostage to fickle fortune. He could grieve, he could feel pain, but these emotions would not be permitted to dictate his reason or his actions. His resilience was forged in this radical distinction: to care deeply, to act decisively, yet to remain unburdened by the outcome. Understanding that true good lies not in what happens to us, but in how we respond. Marcus Aurelius's meditations reveal a soul in constant training, a relentless self-admonition to live up to his own ideals. His writings are filled with questions, commands, and reminders directed at himself, not to others. He grappled with irritation, procrastination, and the temptation of worldly distractions. This makes his resilience profoundly human and relatable. It wasn't a static achievement, but a dynamic daily effort to realign his actions with his principles. His struggle reveals that Stoicism is not about eliminating emotion, but about managing one's internal responses with reason. The capacity for self-correction, for returning again and again to the path of virtue, even after stumbling, is perhaps the most profound testament to his unwavering commitment to inner strength. The ultimate aim of Stoic philosophy, and the zenith of resilience, is to live in agreement with nature. For Marcus, nature encompassed both the rational order of the universe, the logos, and our own innate human capacity for reason and virtue. It meant acting with courage, justice, temperance, and wisdom in every circumstance, aligning one's will with the universal will. This harmony brings profound inner peace, a resilience that transcends mere endurance. It is a state where external chaos cannot shatter internal composure, because one's actions are always guided by an unwavering commitment to what is right. This isn't just about surviving adversity, it is about flourishing through it, becoming more fully human in the process. Perhaps the most enduring lesson from Marcus Aurelius is that Stoicism is a practice, a lifelong journey, not a destination of perfect tranquility. He was an emperor, a general, a father, a husband, and a philosopher, a man besieged by the same human frailties and temptations that plague us all. His meditations are not the pronouncements of a sage who has achieved enlightenment, but the earnest, often raw self-exhortations of a man striving for it. His resilience was not born of inherent immunity to suffering, but from a persistent, methodical application of philosophical principles to the messiness of life. It reminds us that the path to inner strength is walked one step at a time, one judgment at a time, and that the effort itself, the constant striving for virtue, is its own profound reward. From the quiet musings of an emperor on the brink of collapse, Marcus Aurelius offers us not a formula for avoiding adversity, but an immutable architecture for resilience. His voice, echoing across 2 millennia, speaks not of escaping suffering, but of transforming it. He teaches us to look inward, to claim the sovereignty of our own minds, to accept what is given, and to act always with reason and for the good of all. The world will continue its relentless assault, presenting us with loss, injustice, and pain. But like Marcus, we can find in these trials not despair, but opportunities to practice wisdom, to cultivate courage, and to forge an inner peace that no external force can truly shatter. His life and his words stand as a testament to the profound truth that true power resides not in dominion over others, but in the unwavering resilience of the self, a citadel built not of stone, but of character.